Today's video is brought to you by Squarespace, my go-to for building a website and online shop. Hello dear friends. In today's video, I'll be starting a new master copy of one of my favorite landscape paintings of all time, Looking Down Yosemite Valley by Bierstadt. I'm beginning with a very rough looking underpainting, and then later I'll be working on a slightly improved poster study. Most importantly, I'm trying out a new type of brush today, Dagger brushes. They definitely came with quite the learning curve, so I'll be chatting more about that today too. If you'd like to see several hours of real-time tutorials where I record voiceover as I was painting, along with hundreds of hours of exclusive content and monthly art rewards, including a monthly live stream, feel free to check out my Patreon at patreon.com/happydartist. So, this piece checks off a lot of firsts for me. It's my first time using Dagger brushes, first time using bristle brushes, so the brushes I'm using today are actually bristle Dagger brushes. It's my first time using oil ground to prime my painting surface, and also my first time using Belgian linen as my painting surface. And it's my first time doing a full-size landscape master copy. Why did I bunch up so many new challenges at the same time? I have absolutely no clue. I don't know why I continue to torture myself like this, but I guess part of me subconsciously maybe really wanted a fun new challenge. Okay, let's talk about this underpainting first because it was a hot mess. I am painting on a 12 by 18 inch piece of oil ground Belgian linen that I taped to my drawing board. I used a large grid to help me accelerate the block-in process, and I got these bristle dagger brushes that I've seen on Andrew Tischler's landscape painting videos, and so I also wanted to try them really badly, but I've never touched a dagger brush before, so I had zero clue how to use them, and predictably, I used them wrong the first time. No matter how hard I tried, I just couldn't seem to be able to make a straight line. My block-in looked like a landfill. There's just not even one single clean line, and the hairs were going all over the place, and I didn't really know how the brush would be able to hold or deposit paint correctly. But at the time, I just thought to myself, whatever, this is just the underpainting. Let me just get through this stage, and then tomorrow I can start rendering over it and cover up this atrocious mess. The next day I come in, and the underpainting has not dried at all. Usually my underpaintings dry overnight, but then I realized it's because I'm using oil ground on Belgian linen. And oil ground doesn't absorb as much paint as acrylic gesso, which is what I normally use. So the oil ground, despite creating a smooth and luxurious painting surface, also dramatically increases the drying time. I should have known, I should have done my research. But with my video deadline approaching, I didn't want to just share a video of me struggling to make the ugliest underpainting ever using brushes that I had absolutely no clue how to handle. So I decided to make a poster study while I waited for that underpainting to dry. This time I'm working on a small panel that was primed with acrylic gesso, meaning it's a lot more absorbent than the oil ground and it's familiar. And I'm going to continue on my quest to learn how to use this freaking dagger brush. I tried a block-in again. This time I'm taking my time and experimenting with tilting the brush at an angle instead of jabbing it perpendicularly onto the panel. And wow, I was actually able to make clean lines. I don't know if it's the difference in surface or the difference in angles, or maybe just the smaller panel was less intimidating, but the second attempt felt way better than the first. I began holding and using the dagger brush kind of like a palette knife, making sure to glide the stroke with the direction of the bristles so that sharp edge always stayed sharp. There was no feeling of pressing down, but more of depositing paint from the Dagger brush onto the panel in a clean single motion that required the use of my entire arm and shoulder, not just my wrist. Sometimes when we use brushes to oil paint, we tend to accidentally fall back on our drawing habits and hold the brushes like a pencil and use similar wrist motions to try to draw lines or fill in areas like a pencil would. But we have to remind ourselves that brushes are a completely different set of tools and they require different handling mechanisms. Even our style of grip and the movement of our shoulders can greatly decide whether these tools are working for us or working against us. Anyway, due to the palette knifey nature of this brush, I was forced to tile the paint side by side rather than my usual technique of tight rendering and blending, which actually resulted in a nice simplified poster study where I was physically unable to render any fine details and instead had to focus on the bigger picture. This helped me better organize and visualize the main high-level value and color groups so that I could develop a solid plan moving forward into my larger piece. This small poster study was a blast to paint, and it moved very quickly compared to my usual poster studies. And even though I struggled a bit at first, I think with a little practice, I am starting to get the hang of Dagger brushes, and so I think they're here to stay, and I can't wait to share more of my Dagger brush experience and knowledge with you all. And I also can't wait to see what the Dagger brushes can do for me and for my landscape pieces when it comes time to render the main pass on that larger painting. Thankfully, that underpainting is finally dry now, more than 2 weeks later. And that about wraps up today's video. I'm probably going to make this piece another 3-part series, so be on the lookout for part 2 and 3 coming up next month, hopefully. Thank you all so much for watching, and I hope you have a wonderful day. And of course, you guessed it, my eternal never-ending sale is still going on in my shop, so if you'd like 20% off your order of prints and originals, just enter the code HOLIDAY at happyd-artist.com. And if you're interested in learning more about how to paint and draw, I have lots of art educational content on my Patreon page, including exclusive video tutorials, step-by-step photo tutorials, live streams, podcasts, and even surprise art gift boxes. All available at patreon.com/happydartist. I'd love to have you join my Patreon family. A big thank you to Squarespace for sponsoring this video and supporting the art community. I've been using Squarespace for 10 years now, and it's been an integral part of being able to make a living as an artist. Aside from their beautiful customizable templates and easy-to-use interface, Squarespace now has so many robust tools to help make website building be both effective and intuitive. There's a new design intelligence feature that uses a combination of industry experience and cutting-edge AI to help you make a website bespoke to your brand and digital identity. Squarespace takes the intimidation out of setting up an online shop with their intuitive e-commerce platform that accepts every type of payment method you can imagine, all with just a few simple clicks, so you can easily sell your work all around the world. Head to squarespace.com for a free trial, and when you're ready to launch, go to squarespace.com/happydartist to save 10% off your first purchase of a website or domain. Also, if you want to check out more artworks, works in progress, and just random daily artist adventures, feel free to check out my Instagram, and you can follow me at the handle @happydartist.